Luis from LuisReviewer.com, and this is my a new web video podcast from World Entertainment and my YouTube channel. Um, Today I'm gonna be spotlighting, which is the name I put to the series. Something that's very special to me. I remember uh, when I was I'm not good with the age thing, but I remember in my childhood, my mother or my father every Saturday would drive me to this mall in Puerto Rico where they had a comic book store. Now every Saturday, I mean, there was me and a friend, we would go there maybe 9 o'clock in the morning where they open, and we had each had our own titles reserved reserved on the store. They would take the titles we liked, and they would put them, set them apart, and we would go and pick them up. And then we get home. We each, I mean, sometimes we used to sit on my backyard. Other times in the garage, and we just read them. And it was a good time. I mean, I seem to remember to enjoying the stories. And years later, to be seeing them on the big screen as a comic book fan, it was great. Now, for this, what I wanted to do was basically I looked for like a complete list of all the movies with Marvel characters, and I selected those I have seen and those that I liked, and I'm gonna rank them from worst to my favorite. It's a long list, so I'm gonna get right to it because I don't want to make this video too that very long, and I'm gonna be looking on the side because I got the list on a book here. It was hard to put this together. I mean, the last one's not that hard, but as the number getting close to the first one, this is hard because most of them are really good. But I'm gonna start at number 45 with Venom. Um, I know this. I won't be necessarily talking about MCU movie, just Marvel in general. Venom, I enjoyed it. I liked Tom Hardy's performance, but for me, what I didn't like about it was the fact that they separated Venom from Spider-Man. I mean, to me, Venom sole existence and purpose is to kill Spider-Man. So to have a standalone film, I had to fight through that thinking just to enjoy the movie, and I did. I did enjoy it. I liked it. I saw it on the theater, and it was fun. I enjoyed it, but I can't. But the fact that Spider-Man was not involved ultimately didn't feel right to me. So that's why I'm putting it last, just on that little factor. But the movie wasn't bad. It's just that part didn't work for me. So let me continue on the list. Number 44 was released last year, and it was X-Men: The Dark Phoenix movie. A lot of things didn't work for that film for me. I read the comic, I read the paperback of it, and I love the story. And I'm yet to see a good version of it on the theater, because I know you can make it as faithful as you would like to on the screen, because you have to change a few things. Because on the comics you can have a lot of issues, but I do feel like they should have made this a two-part film at least, and they have not done that. This is their second try, and I did not like. I mean, I put it on the list because I did like it. I enjoyed it, but there were so many details that I didn't like. I don't like. I didn't like the actors who played Cyclops, Storm, and others. Obviously, Magneto and James McAvoy. Those are great actors, and Jennifer Lawrence's Mystique was really good, even though she was killed off just really fast. So that's my least favorite of all the X Men movies, and the second on my list of the Marvel films. So number 43, I'm going with the Ang Lee version of Hulk. Um, there were good things about that film. I liked Eric Bana as Hulk. I think he did a good performance, and Jennifer Connelly was in that movie, which was great. The story wasn't bad. I think what maybe people got turned off about was the fact that Ang Lee was the model for the Hulk, and he didn't look like Eric Bana in some ways. Um, but I don't think that really ruined it for me. I like the whole comic book style of the film. That sometimes it just stops and it looks like a comic strip turning the page. So it wasn't that bad of a film, at least for me. Um, but yeah, I rank it as my 43. So number 42, I'm going with the first entry on the list of the MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe, Doctor Strange, and it's it's low because I'm not a huge fan of the character. So the film, I saw it as a fan just because I needed to see it, to know the timeline of the whole Infinity War thing. Um, and the movie wasn't bad, by no means. I liked it. I like the actor who plays Doctor Strange. It was a cool movie, but I don't think I think it's the least one I've seen. I don't think I've seen it again. Um, just because of that, I'm not a big fan of the character. I never read his comic books. I mean, I read stories where he was featured, but I don't remember reading the his comic books. So it's not a bad film, but because I don't like I'm not a huge fan of Doctor Strange. That's why I ranked it at number 42. 41, Ghost Rider. Now this is the Nicolas Cage film. Um, I don't know, might be of the few who liked it. I really liked it. I think it was fun. It was dark. Not perfect, but it was a good film. I think the second one I haven't seen much, but the first one I can see it, and I still enjoy it. I find it that it's a good film. Um, Nicolas Cage was good in it. I don't know if they have plans to redo the character. It would be great just to have a new Ghost Rider film, even if it's a new actor. Because I do like the character, and I remember the comic where the cover was really I think it glowed in the dark or something. It was great, cool cover. Um, so that's my number 40, 41. At 40, I'm going with the Punisher, but the Punisher, this is the Thomas Jane and John Travolta film. I remember enjoying it. I remember liking the twist of how Punisher got his revenge, how he played with the bad guys. Um, Not perfect. There were a few things that now I see it, and it's like the three weird guys who become his friends. Um, I don't know, that wasn't Punisher like for me. But the film was enjoyable. I didn't Warzone didn't even got me to see it, and the Punisher in the Daredevil series also didn't appeal to me. So the Thomas Jane version was good, um, and the movie was I think it was good. I liked it. It was fun. Um, like I said, it was fun how he handled the whole revenge thing. But it has a few details that I would have changed or maybe probably do better. But it's still one of the Marvel movies that I like. Number 39, going with X Men: The Last Stand. Um, this movie, when I saw it first time in the theaters, I really liked it. But it's a film that as I watch it again, I can see its many flaws. Maybe the first time you see it, you're so wrapped up in the fan in you. But as you see it in years, that you kind of see its flaws. I, what I like about it, I like the story. I like the idea of the cure. I like the war, the concept of the war between the mutants. Where it failed, it was too short of a film. I mean, if you're gonna do that, you have to be epic. You have to make it longer. I didn't like that they killed off many characters in the first half hour, including Cyclops, Professor Xavier, and I don't like the fact that this was supposed to be the Dark Phoenix thing. Once again, they did it wrong. Uh, I don't didn't like the fact that Wolverine kind of stepped up as the leader of the X Men because Wolverine. I never saw him or read anything where he was the leader, but I understood why they did it. Hugh Jackman was the main reason those X Men films were successful because I am one who loved Wolverine. But as a comic book purist, I didn't want Wolverine to be the leader of the X Men. The leader was Cyclops, and that part for me ruined the film. But the action, the special effects, I liked. I liked those things about it. But definitely not the best X Men film. Maybe the worst one after Dark Phoenix for me. I always stress that out. This is my opinion. I hope if you want to share your list, I hope to read them in the comments. Um, so let's continue on the list, and I'm going to continue with another X-Men film, the X-Men Apocalypse. I enjoyed that film. It had a good premise. It introduced Storm and then a bunch of new characters. Um, this one I don't think I think I've seen it once or twice, and and it is the second least best of the new class entry. It's just obvious the Dark Phoenix for me is worse. But it was a good film. I enjoyed it. What fails for me was maybe the actors chosen to play some of the parts. I think they didn't quite get it for me. I didn't quite feel them as I felt the other actors. I mean, the one who did Beast, James McAvoy, the actor who played Magneto, Jennifer Lawrence. Uh, I'm basically disappointed in the younger ones, Storm, Cyclops. I don't know, they didn't convince me in their roles, and that for me kind of why I rank this film so low, because they're not bad films by all means. They're not bad. So as we go on down the list, I'm going with number 37, and this is The Rise of the Silver Surfer. Now I'm one of the few maybe I enjoyed those Fantastic Four movies. Um, I enjoyed the cast. Uh, I think Jessica Alba and Chris Evans as Johnny Storm, they were good. I mean, the films were fun. Not perfect, but fun. Now, why do I rank it 37? I love the Silver Surfer. It wasn't badly done. What was maybe uh, badly done was the Galactus, having this big shadow as Galactus. I think it was not the proper way to introduce the storyline. So, but I recently just bought them on Blu-ray actually, and I see them. They're not perfect films, but I do find them to be fun, and they're family oriented. They're really, not. They're just really family friendly, and I'm not a big fan of the Fantastic Four. I like them. I read some of their books, but I enjoy these films. 36. Now this one hurts. Spider-Man 3. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, and for me to rank it this low has to mean something. I think they put too much into this one. I think they maybe had a vision of doing a trilogy, not four. I don't know, but too much storyline. I think Venom deserved his own movie. You already had Harry as the Green Goblin, and you had Sandman. That would have been enough. And Sandman was absolutely beautifully. I mean, the special effects and the storyline would have been fine without adding the symbiote, the black costume. I think they just put it there because fans wanted it. But if you were going to go that way, you should have done it differently. Now, what I always say about Spider-Man 3 is that I feel that the actors were not in it because Kirsten Dunst, to me, is still the best Mary Jane. And in the first two films, Tobey Maguire, James Franco, everyone involved, I felt they gave good performances. Spider-Man 3, not so much. I mean, the evil Peter Parker looks so funny now. But still, it's not a bad film. The special effects are good. There are a few cheesy moments that I see them now and like, I would have changed that. It's just sad because the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans, the 1 and 2, they're really great films. And Spider-Man 1 was huge and really opened up the doors for comic book films. I mean, it was huge. I mean, not the door because there were already films based on comic book characters, but I think it opened Marvel's eyes to what they could do because the movie was big. Oh, so 35, and I don't know if people might kill me for this one. Daredevil. I don't know what people have against Ben Affleck. Uh, I liked him as Batman, and I liked him in Daredevil. I mean, this was before the series because if you're gonna do a movie now, you have an actor who plays really good the character of Daredevil. But at that time, uh, Ben Affleck was okay. I mean, I enjoyed the film. Um, It was dark. Bullseye was a little bit overplayed, maybe by Colin Farrell, but not bad film by any means. I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, I like the fighting scenes and all that, and the last fight with the Kingpin, played by Michael Duncan Clark, I think. So I liked it. So uh, for me, it's ranked at 35. So we're gonna continue down the list, and I'm going at 34 with the X-Men Origin, um, the Wolverine. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to fit the pitch. Um, it wasn't the best Wolverine movie. It had its flaws, but it was a good film, and I mean, Hugh Jackman just carries the role so well that you just end up liking the film. Um, I think where the movie failed was maybe the villain that struck at the end. I like the storyline between the brothers. Maybe they should have just focused on that, and have Sabretooth and Wolverine battle it out. It was finally connected to why Wolverine lost his memory. So it had a lot of good things in it, and I like the Wolverine films. Uh, the other ones are ranked in other places during the list. So this is 33, Iron Man 3. Um, I was so disappointed by this film. Um, because of the Mandalorian, or I was gonna say the Mandalorian, the Star Wars, the Mandalorian. That was such a big villain in the comics and in the cartoons that I remember, and to have it reduced to an actor. I mean, you had a good actor playing the Mandalorian, and to have it reduced to an actor playing a terrorist, I was so frustrated when I read that. Um, now the rest of the movie is not bad. It gets desperate because Iron Man uh, really doesn't appear as much, but they had a lot of cool moments in it. Um, so yeah, it was disappointing for me. I still like it. And it's a great MCU movie, and it's better than the ones before it. But as in terms of the Iron Man, I think it's really the worst one for me. Uh, Number 32, and this is where I think people will kill me. Fantastic Four, the first one. Um, I like it. I was not disappointed by it. It was fun. Doctor Doom could have been more menacing. That's the only thing I could say. But the story was good. I mean, the story where they were struggling with their new powers and how to handle it, and Future Cap as Johnny Storm. It was I don't know. I just enjoy it, it's one of the films that I've seen more than once. I don't know why, but I enjoy it. So at number 31, I'm going with The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And why would I rank it this high? I'm gonna give you my only reason. Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone. I love those two characters and how well they played as Peter and Gwen. And the fact that they did the storyline where Gwen Stacy dies, that to me was great. What I don't like the actor who played Harry, and this is why I get mad at these people. Why change it? It was Norman Osborn who killed Gwen Stacy, so why do you need to put Harry involved? Just put the Green Goblin and forget about Electro. Focus on the storyline. They were trying to force the Sinister Six, and it kind of gets me angry because you had a good chance and you had two good actors. I mean, I actually cried when Gwen Stacy died because Emma Stone was so charming in the role, and Andrew Garfield was a good Spider-Man. So why ruin it? Just go with it. You have great stories already. All you have to do is adapt it. But they forced Rhino, which looks so stupid. Um, and but the reason I rewatch it and enjoy it is really Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone. But the villains, I mean, Jamie Foxx was just Jim Carrey, Riddler in a Spider-Man film. I think they should have just sticked with the Green Goblin. and make it menacing, and they would have had a great film, um, or a better film because it was not bad. I mean, it had good moments in it. Um, so here we go at number 30. I'm going with X-Men: The First Class. This is the first where they introduced the X-Men in their beginnings. I found that it was great. James McAvoy, Magneto, the actor who plays Magneto, I forget his name. It was a good movie. It was a good film. They had the core of the superheroes, and despite not having Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, which to me carried the franchise, I still love the film, and it's I think it's the second best one of those X Men series. Okay, so at number 29, and as you see, they're pretty near each other. The Amazing Spider-Man. I like this one. Like I said, Emma Stone, Andrew Garfield. They were both so good in it, and I like the Lizard. I like the story. Um, what I guess bothered me, or not bothered me, is that we didn't need to see the whole introduction again as to how Spider-Man came to be, but they were beginning it again, putting him back in high school. But I understood those things. But I like the villain, the Lizard. The action sequences were good. Um, and once again, just Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield. They to me are the highlights of these Amazing Spider-Man series. Okay, so number 28, X-Men: Days of Future Past. Now this was a great film. This one brought back Halle Berry, Ian McKellen, Patrick Stewart, and Hugh Jackman into the X-Men world, and it was a great movie. The storyline was similar to the ones I read and I saw it in the animated series, which that was great. And so that one was a good film. I really liked it. Um, 27 and 26. I'm putting the Ant-Man versus the Wasp, or Ant-Man and the Wasp films. I'm putting them together because I don't know how to rank them. I mean, they were surprising though. I mean, I really enjoyed it. They were really funny, and Paul Rudd is a good actor. He was good in the Ant-Man, but I don't know how to really describe them in terms of. But they were good films. Um, I was never a big fan of the Ant-Man, but these two films were really enjoyable, and they were and surprised me because I didn't see the first one in the theaters. Um, because but I found that they were really enjoyable, really good films. Number 25 with Captain Marvel. This is going to be the end of this video. I'm going to divide it in two because it was taking a little bit too long to record. So this is the end of part one. I will see you on part two for the 24 to number one on the Marvel ranking of the films.